In this episode, I head down from the highest motorable pass in the world, but have to wait for a tow truck to be righted. I pick my own route back down the mountain, which is rather rough, technical and wet. And then the inevitable. I get smashed by hail, wander into the desert, pass a mirror lake, and end up in an oasis. After reaching the top of the highest motorable pass in the world, and getting high on oxygen, it was time to head back down and find somewhere to stay. Around the corner to see the road was blocked by the army as they were trying to righten the tow truck that I'd passed on the way up. With a couple of cables and a gentle pull, job done.
Okay, thank you.
Long before I found a sidetrack, so of course I took it. Track was a lot rougher and looser than the Indian shortcuts between switchbacks I'd taken to get up over the first pass. The track eventually turned to grass. Well, really, the track just kind of disappeared. There was also a small stream, but I could see a spot that looked like a bit of a crossing. I got to a more open, faster section, so I came across a few more water crossings, a little longer and a little deeper. Took a sidetrack and took the left option. That was so much fun. I did make that mistake of getting to that water crossing and stopping right at it. Always stop back. It's always best to go with momentum as you go through a water crossing, so if you stop right at the edge, I was looking around. Well, that was epic. It's been a really epic day. It's a bit more of a track still to come, so I might take, obviously this is a new road, I might try and take some of those old versions of the road further up, then try and get somewhere to stay. Oh well, it was bound to happen sometime. Pushing the bike out of the water was a lot of fun. So what I worked out after dropping the bike is the rocks are really slimy. I've just clipped one and gone. Oh well. Still having a ball. My boots might be wet. See if I can dry them off. Started up, I just gave it a little bit of time just to let any water drain out. I have a slight clutch issue, but we'll manage. A rock decided the clutch pedal should face the opposite direction. I wasn't 100% sure I could bend it back without breaking it, so I decided to leave it where it was for now. The fun thing would be that now, shifting down gear would actually be shifting the gears up, and shifting the gears up would now be shifting down. I'm sure there was going to be some high revs with wrong gear changes coming up. There we go. Hopefully I get the hang of it. There were still dirt tracks to ride, and more water crossings. I made my way back up through the centre of the switchbacks. As I got towards the top of the high pass at over 5,000 metres, it started to hail again. I made it to the top of the pass, then started descending down the other side. The hail turned to rain as I dropped in altitude. Then it was back on to the Indian shortcuts. I made it back to the turnoff, now to find the town of Hanley. It's wild how the rain here is very localised. I ended up riding into a monastery, so obviously I'd taken a wrong turn. I headed back to the turnoff. I thought I'd follow these guys on a Royal Enfield 350 Classic. Hopefully they were heading into town. I looked around town for a bit, but there weren't a lot of options, so I pulled into a place to ask. Apparently my best bet was just down the road. I found a guest house where a kind lady fed me and a few other guests. My plate. Now that was an incredible day. I'm incredibly tired, a bit wrecked, but yeah, it was just the last bit when it started to hail and my hands got cold and I got cold, and at the end of a long day it sort of wears on you. But it was good. It took me a while to find this place. Eventually got here, and just a lot of places were fully booked. It's only recently opened up, and so there's not a lot of facilities just yet, which is actually a good thing. And on an interesting note, I met someone else who is a Himalayan rider who is an extremely good photographer, a hell of a lot better than me. Might chat with them tomorrow. But for now, I'm going to bed. As I mentioned previously, another photographer who also rides a Himalayan has ended up at the same accommodation homestay as me, and we both think of travel very similarly. This is Jody MacDonald, and how's your experience in travelling? What's the purpose?
The purpose, I think, is just that travel is amazing. I mean, it just teaches you so much about yourself and the world around you and your place in it, and it's challenging and adventurous, and I learned so much about the world and myself that it provides a lot of fulfillment for me, so I just love it.
And my other thing is, I'm not a big planner, and it seems Jody isn't either.
Yeah, I'm not a big planner at all. I mean, I think I've been traveling my whole life and doing adventure stuff my whole life, and I've just learned along the way that planning often it becomes useless or like kind of a waste of time, and it also kind of sucks the adventure out of it in a lot of ways. So I like to just oftentimes like fly by the seat of my pants, never really know where I'm going, where I'm staying, and I like to get lost a lot.
So what is it about the Himalayas that keeps drawing you back?
Yeah, I mean, this is my third season, motorcycle season here, and I mean, in my 15th time to India, so as a photographer, India is just magical. It's just so much to photograph. Culturally, geographically, it's just such a special place. But the Himalayas in particular for motorcycle riding, adventuring, it just has this raw beauty and isolation, desolation to it. I guess there's no other word that describes it than magical to me.
And the other thing, you're doing some other projects here. What are they?
Yeah, so I'm working on a water issue story that they're having in the high Himalayas, which is affecting the whole subcontinent. So it's a big issue, but I'm kind of working on that photo project. I'm also running a photography workshop by motorcycle. It's a mixture helping people learn and improve their photography skills, but also having an epic adventure along the way and really challenging themselves. So it's it had all these different elements to it, which made the workshop really, really interesting and amazing. I mean, we had such an incredible time, and I think it probably changed the lives of a lot of the people who were a part of it, and that was really, really fun to see.
So if you're keen, I think there's another workshop coming up soon, or maybe next year as well.
Yeah, I would love for any of you to join if you love motorcycling, adventure, or want to improve your photography skills. So
I'd be going. So Jody's also given me a couple of little places to go check out, so I'm going to do those in the next few days as well. So yeah, it is a lot of fun being out here in this.
Too much fun, actually. Yesterday I said that about 5 times.
It's always good to connect with other travellers, especially ones that think the same way as you do. Today I'm probably going to try and take an easier day, because yesterday was long and tiring and just got really cold at the end. It was epic, it was a big day. So I'm going to head towards another lake, I think this time. It's to the southwest, I'm hoping, or just west. And we'll see what's out there. Oh yeah.
It just goes like that.
Oh damn.
But it's meant for filming, they're designed for filming on motorcycle helmets. Like, so the grip is really strong.
Yeah.
And I've been using it for 3 seasons now, and I've had no problems.
Oh wow, that's a lot easier.
Yeah, I can send you the link.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah. I made my way back out onto the open road. I left the town of Hanley, which reminded me, as the bike was built for the Himalayas, Royal Enfield, in homage to the region, have named each of the paint options after different areas. The name of the one on the bike I'm riding is Hanley Black. Riding along the valley and then saw some nomad farmers, so I thought I'd come and check them out. I stood back a bit and took some photos of the valley, and then they sort of said hi and went over and had a look. And yeah, yaks and goats, very noisy goats. They're snorting and burping, and yeah, again another stunning plain. A yak's just going out onto the wetland. Just a totally different way of life. Pretty basic, pretty simple, but sometimes that can be really good.
A little girl had managed to bring back the yak that had made a break for it. Yaks are thought to be more closely related to bison than cows, and are found throughout the Himalayas, Tibetan Plateau, Kyrgyzstan, and as far north as Mongolia and Siberia. I had seen a lot of faint tracks into the hills, so I couldn't help myself and had to explore. The tracks went in all different directions, then they would fade into nothing. I rode around through different valleys and sandy plains. There were so many of them out there to explore. I eventually made my way back to the main road. Then I checked out the other side of the road, which had the river on it. I pulled up as ahead there was another nomadic farming family. Not wanting to hassle everybody in the valley, I turned around and headed back to continue onto the main road again. This has to be the biggest sandy mountain I've ever seen in my life. It's actually hard to get a scale of how big this thing is. Now, the observant of you might have seen this on the way in. Someone must have had a really bad day to get it stuck in there. I took another short road off excursion. This place has endless possibilities to explore. I stopped at the only fuel station I could find out here. Luckily, the bike gets a fair distance on each tank, so there's been no range anxiety. I had made it to the turn-off to the lake. I crossed a single-lane bridge, which had large metal plates, which you had to be a little bit careful of, as they were not bolted down. If I caught one of the corners at a wrong angle, I might end up on the side of the road changing a tyre. I headed into a quite narrow valley. Somehow I'd missed the turn. I was probably looking around too much, so I made a quick U-turn back. I started climbing and quickly found my first Indian shortcut up this mountain. When you know they exist and are on the lookout for them, they seem to appear from everywhere.
waiting for was bigger, but this one's still stunning anyway. Very postcard-like, really. Just came through this little valley here, and on the top of that is snow as well. So even though it's late summer, still some snow around. I think I'm over 4,600 metres at the moment. So I might grab a photo or two and continue on.
Bro are at it again. New roads everywhere. I had made it to the lake. It was large and, well, quite stunning. I rode through the main village along the lake. And out the other side to where one of the rivers ran down the mountain to feed the lake. I turned around and rode back into the village. I needed to get some water as I was running low.
Made it to the big lake. Stunning, that other side, that mountain range. Got these sort of greenish, then reds and blues and greys and yellows, and it's got everything. It's funny, Jody actually mentioned that all the lake access was actually fenced off, which it is. I only got through here because I think it's a building site, which is a little disappointing. I was going to stay here, but it's only halfway through the day, so I think I might just keep moving on, especially because there's a lot of, I guess they're marsh flies or sand flies. They just hoard you. So I might go find somewhere to stay that way, to the valley. I'm thinking I might head up towards one of the big Buddhist temple that's up there, so go check that out. And on the way, I'll stop into Lay again and maybe get a new clutch lever. Might make it easier so I don't forget that I have to do everything upside down because I've bent it right the way around. Alright, on the road into this next valley, we'll find hopefully someone to stay on the side of the road coming up.
I headed back along the edge of the lake, which had a mirror reflection on it. Even off the side of an unknown road are incredible landscapes. There were some sealed sections of road and some sections that were waiting to be sealed. But still, there were plenty of Indian shortcuts to break up the ride. turned onto the main road north, which ran along what else but another gorgeous valley. I've learnt to expect nothing less while riding up here. That looks like a tricky bridge to get across, like a Ninja Warrior course for a motorbike. This was the first town I'd come across in a while, and seeing it was getting late into the day, I thought I'd see if there was any accommodation here. Riding around, I couldn't see any signs or anything that looked like accommodation, so I made my way back out to the main road. They do have some of the coolest bridges here. If you happen to be wondering, this is how they get the tar for the roads here, in 44-gallon drums. Another one of these cool little bridges. There was another town on the other side of the river, so I thought I'd try again and see if there was anywhere that had accommodation. I seemed to be in luck. I spotted a sign that said homestay. I wasn't really sure which one was the homestay, but then a lady waved me over. This place was perfect timing. I was getting a little tired. And the view's not bad either. It also has quite a large veggie patch. And this is the room. Sometimes you get dodgy places when you wing it, and sometimes you win. This place is epic. It's so peaceful, right in the middle of this valley. And as I said before, right at the right time I was feeling it. I think I'm burnt too. I did stop and take a lot of photos. I walked back past the veggie patch and up to the homestay. Another really fun day on the bike. Stopped and saw a lot of things. The yak and goat herders, and that lake was pretty special. Just the reflection. And the valley coming in this last section. And of course this place. The food was really good too. Like really good. Apparently they're famous for it here. It's all homegrown in that garden out the front, and it was really, really good. So tomorrow I'm going to head up through Lay to get a clutch pedal. New one that's not so bent, and then a bit I guess west to
there's a town that's got a monastery in it. I'm just going to go and check that out as well. So it's been a good day again.
Oh my love, you're such a fragile thing, I know. And with the winter comes the ice, the snow, but I'm here to hold. And oh my love.
In the next episode, I end up in a Buddhist monastery, nestled into an incredible landscape. I ride into a very narrow but stunning gorge, and then ride over a high pass to see one of the most surreal landscapes I've ever seen.